CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
So let me be clear. Peaceful protest in America. Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is.
Now at 4, for the first time, President Joe Biden speaks up about the unrest at college campuses across the country. This came after a chaotic night in Los Angeles. Police moved in at UCLA after demonstrators were ordered to leave their encampments. CBS News Miami's Bradley Blackburn reports from New York, where officers remain outside several universities.
Students at Portland State University were told to shelter in place Thursday as police cleared out the library, which had been occupied by protesters. Police say they found tools, improvised weapons, and paint balloons. And this is what remains after police cleared out the pro-Palestinian encampment on the campus of UCLA. Overnight, officers in riot gear moved in, ripping apart the barricades that had been set up. More than 100 protesters were arrested.
We need to keep protesting, and that's the only way change will be made, right? By resisting the status quo. So.
As the day wore on, officers continued to make arrests in areas outside the encampment.
We are still seeing the resistance on the far end to my right.
As protests on college campuses nationwide escalate, President Biden spoke out, condemning the violence.
Breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest.
At George Washington University in D.C., there were dueling protests between protesters who were against the war in Gaza.
Humanity wins when we bring them home.
And pro-Israel demonstrators who want the focus to be on the release of the hostages. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The protests have resulted in more than 1,000 arrests nationwide so far.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, it is a beautiful day across South Florida, but what's ahead? Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler is tracking what's next.
Nasha, I think we're going to hang on to this beautiful stuff for the next few days. I don't see any fronts coming in here. By this time of the year, they're starting to back off a little bit. We're kind of transitioning into the wet season. Just a couple more weeks and it'll be there. So today we didn't pick up the rain like yesterday. 84 degrees now, but our high today was 85 degrees. There's some pretty good humidity out there, but we don't have the gusty winds either, so fairly nice day. We're looking ahead to drier conditions through the weekend. Overall, drier. Staying warm and a little bit on the humid side, so we're not going to drop that really dry air that feels so comfortable. I don't think we're going to see that anymore. We're actually now kind of heading toward that difference, that pattern change there. And there's still a slight chance for some isolated showers, even with this drier air in place, although I don't see any big storms out there at all. Easterly flow, that hasn't changed. We're going to continue with that. That big area of high pressure is still sitting out in the Atlantic, so that sends us that easterly flow. Little showers trying to develop in the Atlantic, but look at this, everything sliding over to the west side of the state, and we could see a few showers and storms trying to pop up right along, look at this, right along I-75. So Collier County, maybe down to Monroe County, has the better chance to pick up some showers yet today. According to our modeling, this is a little bit overdone according to actuality here, but that would be the likely place if we get anything at all. Those little showers will pop up, then they'll move on, and then tomorrow, I think tomorrow again we might have an isolated shower, but more than likely over the interior and the west side of the state. Not really here because of this drier air that is in place. Even with that easterly flow, we stay really nice. Winds a little bit on the breezy side. Friday, maybe up to 20-mile-per-hour gusts. Same thing heading into the weekend, so a little bit breezy, but here you go with the humidity. Just a solid straight line right across, so really no change at all, so it's going to be a bit sticky. Temperatures, though, inching upward. Normal high right now is 85 degrees. There's just one day on Sunday dropping below that, and then, by Thursday, we're getting into the upper 80s, so it's warming up. So mainly dry and breezy, that's what we're thinking. Isolated showers here and there, it's a possibility, but no guarantees. So overall, a very nice weekend coming up. Here's your temperatures: 85 Saturday, 85, 84 on Sunday with just a 20% chance for a shower. Then temperatures inching up to upper 80s by the time you get to Thursday.
One day after Florida's 6-week abortion ban went into effect, Arizona's governor plans to sign a bill regarding the issue. As CBS News Miami's Janet Shamlin reports, Democrats found just enough votes to repeal it.
By your votes of 16 ayes, 14 nays, you have passed House Bill 2677.
After a heated session in the Arizona Capitol, the state's Republican-controlled Senate narrowly voted to repeal an 1864 law that bans almost all abortions. 2 Republican senators joined 14 Democrats to reverse the law after the repeal barely cleared the state House last week. It's now headed to Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs' desk, who said she'll sign it. The Civil War-era law predates Arizona's statehood. It bans all abortions except if the mother's life is in danger, and could allow the state to prosecute abortion providers. The decision divided voters in the battleground state.
It's a victory for women. It's a victory for the Constitution.
The repeal allows the state's 15-week abortion limit, enacted before Roe v. Wade was overturned, to remain state law.
We still have a road ahead of us.
Even if signed today, the repeal will not take effect until 90 days after the legislative session ends. With the near-total ban set to take effect June 27th, there will likely be a near-total ban on abortions in Arizona for a period of weeks or months this summer.
The thing that I worry about most is what are we going to do in that gap time when abortion is going to be illegal in Arizona.
Janet Shamlin, CBS News, Phoenix.
A Miami home badly damaged after it was consumed by flames overnight. Inside, crews found a 54-year-old man. You see him there. First responders managed to get him out, but in the process, a firefighter and 2 police officers were hurt. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch has the report.
A heroic rescue by firefighters during a blaze inside this home behind me. Now a safety message for you about what caused the flames. Ring cam video shows Miami Fire Rescue outside the home where the fire broke out. Inside, Pedro Escalona shows us some of the damage. He says this is where firefighters found his 54-year-old brother, Rohel Escalona. He says his brother was here along with 3 other family members. Rohel Escalona was rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Fire Rescue says this blaze may have started accidentally.
It may have been a short circuit in the lamp. He was sleeping. The apartment caught on fire. The fire department was called and they arrived. He was in the apartment with his sister and family. They told me he is in bad shape. Imagine, your brother is burned. How am I going to feel?
Firefighters moved quickly after hearing that Rohel Escalona was trapped.
Immediately, our firefighters made entry and went to the back of the house where this gentleman was on the floor with 30% of burns all over his body, 2nd degree. And they brought him out to safety and immediately began treating him and transported to the hospital. During this incident, we also had 2 Miami police officers that arrived. They attempted to assist. They were kind of succumbed by the smoke as well. So they were transported to the hospital with smoke inhalation. We also had our firefighter, one of our firefighters that would first arrive on the scene that assisted with the rescue, that he was taken to the hospital for evaluation, and he was luckily discharged this morning.
Miami Fire Rescue Lieutenant Pete Sanchez says that Rohel Escalona is in serious condition. He says the 2 police officers and the firefighter are all going to be okay. Sanchez says the cause of this blaze is under investigation, but he says that it appears that all this stemmed from an electrical problem. In Miami, Peter Dinch, CBS News, Miami.
A violent crash involving a school bus. This is a look at the scene in the area of Northwest 183rd Street and 17th Avenue in Miami Gardens earlier today. You can see the front of a yellow bus with damage. You can see there a white SUV with major damage as well. Debris was scattered all over the road. Fire Rescue tells us 1 person was taken to the hospital. No word on what caused that crash. All is back to normal following a major traffic mess in Broward County. Take a look. A dump truck filled with dirt caught fire. Chopper 4 over the scene. This is at the eastbound I-595 ramp to I-95. Fire caused a major backup in the area. No one was hurt. It is day 10 of former President Donald Trump's trial. His gag order hearing began this morning. Prosecution argues that he should be sanctioned for 4 more allegations. That's after a judge found the former president in contempt of court. The judge has yet to announce the decision. Stay with us for the very latest. When we come back, Formula One will take over South Florida this weekend. Coming up, what you need to know if you're not going to Hard Rock Stadium. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast happening now. The final touches are being made at Hard Rock Stadium, and that is ahead of this weekend's Formula One Miami Grand Prix. With the big event also comes road closures. Right now, the Turnpike exit ramps to the stadium are closed. Tomorrow, in addition to the Turnpike ramps, Northwest 199th Street will also be closed from 27th Avenue to just east of the Turnpike at Northwest 14th Court from 6 to 9 p.m. On Saturday, these same roads will be impacted, but 199th will be closed from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then finally on Sunday, 199th will be closed again between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. The Turnpike ramps will reopen at 10 p.m. The season is over for the Miami Heat, and that is after a blowout loss to the Boston Celtics. Boston led by as many as 37 points. The Celtics hit 16 threes to Miami's threes. The Heat season ends losing the series 4-1. That's your Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.